Hey guys, and welcome to volume 2, as you will, of our agronomy videos for the week. The subject of this one, I think we're going to talk on the adjuvants. So adjuvants is one of those words that it seems to be kind of a mess of different ideas as to what is considered an adjuvant and why you would even need them. In fact, some people probably think that they're snake oil. And trust me, there is a lot of snake oil out there. But we're going to walk through the different classifications of it and especially point out for spring 2020 why it's so important to match the right adjuvant with the right product, because they do totally different things. So with that, just taking a look around here, we're in the Scobie warehouse right now, and there is probably about 200 different products, whether it be a pre-plant burn down situation, an inoculant, a seed treat, a post-emergent herbicide, all kinds of different things that are have all its different purposes. Now, I would bet out of those 200 different products, at least half of those do require an adjuvant in order to work properly. Meaning, if you were to just go spray water and that specific chemistry, you may still get a 50% control, 60, 70, something like that. But without the additive to actually help get it into the plant or down to where it needs to go, you're basically wasting money. And so we obviously want to avoid that. And if you're going to spend the money and time, let's do it right. So there's 4 main purposes of adjuvants. Condition the water to prevent mineral tie-up of the active ingredient. So that category would consist of anything going in the tank with Roundup. Glyphosate is naturally tied up with minerals in the water. If you're pumping sediment in from your well, you can pretty easily take a 32 ounce an acre rate of RT3 and turn that into 16 ounces theoretically if half of that load is tied up without the proper water conditioning agent. Now, so that's one point. The second one would be to decrease the surface tension of a droplet to spread on the leaf. Meaning if you have a sprayer out in the field that lands on the leaf of the weed, no matter what size droplet, it lands there and it just goes, if it's a contact mode of action, it's only going to burn where it lands, versus if you spread that out, it's taking bigger chunks of the leaf, therefore better accuracy. The other one is to burn the active ingredient into the leaf. Sometimes these plants and weeds have thick cuticles, meaning the chemistry may land, you may have all the water coverage in the world, but without something to help burn it through that waxy layer, it's not going to actually get to where it needs to be. And then the fourth main purpose is to get the droplet where it needs to go. Not going to do any good if you are doing 20 mile an hour down the field and you get that rolling cyclone of droplets behind your booms. A large portion of that, 30% or more in certain cases, could be evaporating if it's warm out, drifting if it's windy out, or just flat getting tied up in last year's stubble. So we really want to prevent that, and that's another reason for an adjuvant. So within the water conditioning, reasons for water conditioning, like I said, is Roundup and things like that. You need ammonium sulfate, period. Now there's ammonium sulfate right here in bags, just good old spray grade ammonium sulfate. And there's also premixes of products that have ammonium sulfate in it. Linkage is a basic blend that has a mixture of ammonium sulfate and surfactant, so it's actually conditioned in the water and spreading droplets on the leaf. And then you have Class Act, and Class Act is probably our premier one. There's actually corn syrup in it, which if you think of Mountain Dew, you dump Mountain Dew on your dash of your vehicle, and that stickiness, you just cannot get it off. It combines the water conditioning portion plus that stickiness to keep things where it needs to go and get into the leaf. So those are the water conditioners. There's also other things that we don't actually have right behind us. There's acidifiers in a group called the AMADs. So things like Hellfire, brimstone, gun smoke, things like that, they're usually low use rate, and sometimes they can work well, but sometimes they're too quick of a burn to actually condition the water and allow the glyphosate to get into the plant and actually kill the plant. So those you got to use with a little bit of caution. With that, so we'll move to the next category. So interlock. Most everybody's probably heard of interlock. There's probably a lot of places out there that says we have our version of interlock. Well, that's not true because this is a patented thing. I've seen probably 8 or 9 different products out there. Myself, in my own spraying experience, this one hands down every time is the one that is consistent about keeping droplet size the same, so it's reducing those fines rolling off the back of your boom and floating into the air. It is also penetrating the crop and penetrating old stubble, old weed carcasses. Even 10 gallons of water with it and 10 gallons of water without it are two different things as far as actually getting the droplets, the active ingredient, to where it needs to go. Absolutely, there's all kinds of research on this. Chat with me anytime to see a video of actually how it works. Or even talk to our applicator, Duke, and John Mackart at the airplane, they'll swear by it. So that kind of brings up to the last category of adjuvant. These would be the foliar spreaders, and I'm going to walk through them in the order of least strength and least crop potential for injury to the highest strength, but then you also have to watch crop injury. So with that, we'll back up to things that are considered a non-ionic surfactant. A non-ionic surfactant, in this case, is preference. There's a bunch of them. I'll be flat honest, I think preference is probably just as good as any of them. We just choose to carry this for supply reasons. There's other ones that we carry. Induce by Helena. All that's doing is reducing the surface tension on that droplet of water and spreading it. That's simply all it's doing. If you go to the next category up, you're back into these basic blends. So you've got a little bit of, say, preference plus AMS. In this case, the AMS isn't so much used to actually condition the water. It's used as more of a fertilizer to help that plant think okay, I've got some ammonium nitrate, ammonium sulfate, I'm going to help take that plant in, or that chemistry in. So this is a mixture of basic blend. Cases for using this: Gold Sky, Rimfire, Everest would be the main uses in crop. Then you'd go to crop oil concentrates. So again, we're starting with the lowest, working to the highest and most potent. Crop oil concentrates, in this case we carry Superb HC. It's a high concentrate load, meaning it's basically half the use rate, but the strength per gallon is twice as, the strength is there to compare to a full use rate one. This would be used in the case of your Assure-2s, clethodims, things like that, things that require that you're going to kill grasses with. And grasses, obviously, you're landing on little leaf blades. And this helps take the Assure-2 into the plant by burning through the waxy cuticle. Then the final one we'll cover is Destiny, and this would be in the methylated seed oil group. Again, there's lots of brand names. These are the ones that we tend to carry for other, we feel these are probably the best quality. Destiny is a methylated seed oil, and so that is really crucial when using things like we talked about in the last video, like Sharpen, where you're actually burning into an overwintered hawksbeard, and it is just tough, hardened off, thick, the weather's cold, you just need to flat burn yourself in there. Methylated seed oil is the way to go, and Destiny, in this case, will do that. There's mixtures of all these things as well. Strike Lock is the one that comes to mind. Strike Lock is a mixture of Destiny and Interlock. So now you're talking about a multi-use thing. You are taking the properties of Interlock on placing it in the right spot, keeping the drift down, and also burning it into the plant. So To sum things up, it's kind of a lot. There's a lot of different products, and these are just the main ones that we support because we feel the quality is there. Obviously in the marketplace there's a lot of other names, but just make sure that no matter what product you're using, you look at use rates and look at active ingredient loads, because there's definitely a lot of soap out there. I guess I would call it soap and snake oil. And knowing what you're trying to accomplish can be a big part of selecting the right adjuvant too. If there's nothing up, if you're going to put a residual chemistry down, there's actually no use in having something that helps burn leaves because there's no leaves to burn. So save the money, don't use that. Might want to use a water conditioner instead. With that, that's kind of the spiel on adjuvants, and we will look forward to talking to you in the next video. Thank you.